Messes with your mind, and there's no way back, no way forward, no map to normal. No matter what anyone tells you. At least not in this life. He'd known all this before he was ever capable of knowing. It worked in his blood like a fever, surging and ebbing, keeping him off balance, at odds, adrift in a sea of shifting depths. Then his mother died, and no one suspected the truth but him. No one ever would. And now he was 10. He'd never been much of a talker. After the crash and the hospital and the rest of it, his world shrank to a single point. Just him and his brother. Barely a word for well-meaning foster parents, cow-eyed teachers and counselors. Not a scrap for any of the kids in any of the schools. It wasn't a surprise, then, that he had no friends. And if you had no friends on a schoolyard in Dorchester, you sure as hell had enemies. Joey Watts was older. 13, 14. Big, dumb as a hog, hard in the chin and eyes. Suspicious, greedy, scared of the world, and pure bully. He came up behind Daniel as he sheltered against a wall, waiting for the bell that would take them into class. Daniel could feel the bully's approach, tracking it in his head in some way he didn't yet understand. Watts stopped a few feet away, measuring. Then he stepped forward and popped Daniel's cap off his head. Watts snickered. 3 of his pals were watching, and snickered as well. "Freak," the bully said. "Fitzsimmons, the freak," his friends echoed. Daniel bent for the black and gold Bruins cap. His hand found a rock, hard and smooth, shaped to a purpose. Daniel gripped it and felt its curve, while something stirred in his chest, something ancient and evil, blessed and sublime. The young warrior in him wanted to strike out, even as the old man within counseled patience. The enemy still lay hidden, not yet ready to be named. Daniel let the rock slip from his fingers and picked up the cap. As he straightened, Watts lashed out again, catching Daniel in the ribs with a boot. He fell forward, pulping his face against the pavement and splitting his lip to the meat. He tasted blood rich in his mouth and heard his mind whisper as it whirred, spinning fast, stopping at the nexus of a certain time and a certain place. The pale sun shifted behind some clouds, and the air grew bitter. Daniel wiped his face and raised his eyes to his tormentor, piercing him to his essence, fixing him to his fate. "You drowned her. You didn't mean it. You were just being mean. But you did it." In a stroke, Daniel had slipped inside Joey Watts. 2, now 1. He saw the bully as a boy, in the summer of his 11th year, standing nipple-deep in the cold waters of the Quincy Quarry, pushing down on the head of 9-year-old Jeannie Jameson. Daniel watched her mouth fill as she went under for the last time, felt the grim thrill that coursed through Watts's body as the little grub thrashed and kicked and her life streamed away in a string of tiny bubbles. And then everything blurred, a final fingernail scratching the back of Watts's wrist before her limbs went soft and sloppy and sank. "You watched them try to revive her on the rocks," Daniel said. "And then you left with your pals." He reached out to touch Watts, but the boy reared back, nostrils flaring, a wild look in his eyes. And then he ran, the others with him. No shame was so great they couldn't bear anything to be distant from those eyes and the god-awful truth that lived therein. 20 years distant, Joey Watts would climb over a railing on the upper deck of the Tobin Bridge during rush hour,